Good morning. Okay, so we're going to move on to solving inequalities by multiplying and dividing. So remember that, our steps are just like solving equations. So I'm going to zoom in here to n divided by 3 is less than 1. Remember, we always want to be sure that that variable is on the left before we start solving, which it is. So we're going to draw our mirror. We're going to do the inverse operation. So the opposite of divided by 3 is times 3 on the left and times 3 on the right. So your 3's are going to cancel. We've got n is less than 3. Put a box around your solution. Find 3 on your graph. Circle 3. And now we are going to darken to the left and darken that arrow. That's going to be an open circle because it's less than, not less than or equal to. Looking at number 2, 12 times what is less than or equal to -4? Our variables on the left, so we can go ahead and start solving. So I'm going to draw my mirror. Oops, sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay, draw my mirror. Divide by 12. Divide by 12. 12's are going to cancel. K is less than or equal to, so I've got -24 divided by +12, so that would be -2. K is less than or equal to -2. So we're going to circle -2 on our graph. Our arrow is pointing to the left. And we're going to darken that line. This is going to be a closed circle because it's less than or equal to. So -2 is a possible solution. -2 is less than or equal to -2. So we need to include that as a solution for K. 2.5 times what is less than or equal to -5? Our variable is on the left, so I can go ahead and solve. 2.5 times what? Opposite of multiplying by 2.5 is dividing by 2.5. So let's think about this over here. If I'm going to do 2.5 divided by 2.5, I have to make those improper. So that would be 5/2 divided by 5/2. And then I have to do keep, switch, flip. So those would all cross cancel down to 1. So what I'm going to put over here, I'm really multiplying by 2/5 on the left. So I'm going to have to multiply by 2/5 on the right. So all of this is going to cancel on the left. So K is less than or equal to, if I put a 1 under the 5, my 5's are going to cancel. So 1 times -2 is -2. K is less than or equal to -2. Put your circle at -2. Our arrow is pointing to the left, and we're going to darken that line. Less than or equal to, -2 is less than or equal to -2, so we're going to fill in that circle. Number 4, the first thing I notice is that the M is on the right. So I'm going to go ahead and flip all of that to the left. So I'm going to put my M divided by 10 on the left. I'm going to put my -0 and 5/10 on the right. Less than or equal to is going to flip to greater than or equal to. All right, so what number divided by 10 is greater than or equal to -0 and 5/10? So the opposite of dividing by 10 is multiplying by 10. So I'm going to put times 10 on the left and times 10 on the right. everything on the left is going to cancel. So we've got m is greater than or equal to. Now, when you multiply a decimal times 10, that can be mental math. All you have to do is slide that decimal to the right. So m is greater than or equal to -5. We're multiplying -5 times positive 10. M is greater than or equal to -5. So put your circle at -5. We are going to darken that arrow moving to the right. We're going to darken all those numbers, showing those are solutions. And we're going to fill in our circle because -5 is greater than or equal to -5. New rule. When you multiply or divide both sides of the inequality by a negative, you must reverse the inequality. Say what? Like this. When you multiply or divide both sides of the inequality by a negative, you must reverse the inequality. So watch carefully on number 5. Okay, so first of all, my m is on the left, so I can go ahead and start solving. So what number divided by -3 is greater than -4? So the opposite of dividing by -3 is multiplying by -3. So multiply the left by -3 and multiply the right by -3. Your -3's are going to cancel on the left. M is greater than 12. -4 times -3 is 12. Now look what I just did. What's our new rule? When you multiply or divide both sides by a negative, you reverse the inequality. So now my next step, since I just multiplied both sides by -3, since I multiplied both sides by a negative, I have to reverse the inequality. So m is greater than 12 is going to flip to m is less than 12. Solution, m is less than 12. Okay, now we don't see 12 on the number line, so I'm just going to go ahead and add 2 hash marks down here and call that 12. And I'm going to put a circle at 12, and that's going to be pointing to the left. Arrow points to the left, and that is just less than. So I'm going to leave that an open circle because 12 is not a solution. 12 is not less than 12, so we have to leave that an open circle. -5 times what is less than 35? -5 times what is less than 35? Well, the opposite of multiplying by -5 is dividing by -5. So -5 divided by -5 is going to cancel. So I've got z is less than -7. Now, what's our new rule? When you multiply or divide both sides of the inequality by a negative, you must reverse the inequality. Okay, I did just divide both sides by a negative. So now I'm going to flip my less than sign to greater than. So my final solution, z is greater than -7. So I'm going to find -7 and put a circle. And then I am going to darken the arrow moving to the right and darken all of those numbers. That's going to stay an open circle because -7 is not greater than -7, so -7 is not a solution for this inequality. All right, so getting to the reason why we're learning this, to solve problems. So let's look carefully at our word problem here. So you earn $6.50 per hour at your summer job. Write and solve an inequality that represents the number of hours you need to work in order to buy an iPhone that costs $429. Okay, let's read that again. Read it and read it again. You earn $6.50 per hour at a summer job. Write and solve an inequality that represents the number of hours, so that's what we're looking for, the number of hours that you need to work in order to buy an iPhone that cost $429. Now, remember when we've done these in class, I've said the dollar amount or the total that you need is always going to go on the right side of your inequality. Let X equal is what we're looking for. We're looking for the number of hours. So let X equal number of hours I need to work. All right, so $6.50 per hour times how many hours? Let's see, could I make less than $429 and afford the phone? Nope. I've got to make at least $429, or I could make more than $429 and have some money left over. So $6.50 times the number of hours is going to have to be greater than or equal to the cost of the phone. So our inequality is going to read, I'm actually going to drop the 0 because it's easier to do the math if we eliminate zeros. So I'm going to say 6 5/10 times how many hours is greater than or equal, to $429. All right, so now we're going to solve it over here. $6.50 times how many hours, is greater than or equal to 429. Draw your mirror. Opposite of multiplying by 6.5 is dividing by 6.5. So this is all going to cancel. How many hours are greater than or equal to 429 divided by 6.5? Okay. 429 divided by 6.5. Remember, when you divide by a decimal, if you have a decimal in the divisor, you've got to move it over. So I'm going to add a decimal in my problem and a 0 and move it over. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 digits in my answer. So 65 can't go into 4. 65 cannot go into 42. 65 times 6, let's see, 6 times 5 is 30, 36, 39, 9, 3, and 0. Well, look at that. 65 times 6 was 390. So if I do another 6, 65 times 6 is going to be 390 again. All right, so 66. I'm going to have to work at least 66 hours to have enough money to purchase my phone. All righty, so that is it for notes. Email me if you need help.